Well, howdy, y'all. Welcome back to Wrestling Jeopardy. Don't you criticize me like that. You good. What? Dog sitting there judging me. My mom told us back then. Yeah. Boop. Okay. So, we got Wrestling Jeopardy here queued up. And also, I was trying to fix the stuttering and the lagging in the last video. I wish I knew how to change it to the back to basic settings or just reset it, but it won't let me. So I'm doing it as best I can. So let's get this going and let's see how well we do this time, boys and grills. Here we go.
Welcome to Wrestling Jeopardy, the only interactive pro wrestling trivia challenge on YouTube where you're the contestant. I'm your host, Kevin J. Callis.
Yeah.
And I hope you're ready to swing for the fences, test your knowledge, and walk off with the overall top score. Now, if you're a seasoned vet of Wrestling Jeopardy, well, you know the drill. However, if you're a rookie, take a sec to read our not-so-extreme rules so you can learn all about how to play the game. Time to play the game! And with that, let's go to the board now and
do
check out the
it.
categories you'll be quizzed on, starting with Play Ball, followed by the Global Wrestling Federation, Iconic Mustaches, Saturday night's main event, and last but certainly not least, the return of an audio category, theme song opening sound effects.
Oh, okay.
So let's begin the game with the 200-point round, the easiest round in Wrestling Jeopardy. You should go 5 for 5 and
Okay, here we go.
a 1,000 batting average. Let's kick things off with Play Ball. Before he ever snapped into a Slim Jim, this wrestling legend played 4 seasons of minor league baseball, batting .254 with 16 home runs and 66 RBIs.
That would be Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Drafted straight out of high school by the St. Louis Cardinals, we're talking about the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Yeah.
And we're on to the Global Wrestling Federation for 200. In 1991, an upstart wrestling organization called the Global Wrestling Federation made its debut on ESPN by holding a tournament, which was won by this masked wrestler.
Patriotic masked wrestler.
And the correct answer, who is the Patriot?
I should have
That
known
brings
that.
us to iconic mustaches
All
for
right.
200. This bleached blonde mustache
Oh, really?
belongs in the Mustache Hall of Fame, brother.
Hulk Hogan. I hope.
And of course, that is the unmistakable stash of one Hulk Hogan.
Brother, dude.
Moving on to Saturday night's main event for 200.
Dude.
Premiering in 1985, Saturday night's main event originally aired on NBC in the United States in place of this late-night comedy show for weeks when that show didn't have any new episodes.
Is it David Letterman? Late Show?
And the answer
Oh,
was
no.
Saturday Night Live.
Let me tell you something about this guy. He has herpes. No!
And let's finish up the
Why did I think
200-point round
Lane?
by naming the wrestler or wrestlers associated with this opening theme song sound effect.
I've heard that before.
What did the band Devo always say? Whip it?
Whip it good.
The correct answer here
Oh.
is Bianca Belair. And we're on to the 400-point round with Play Ball. Following a stint in WCW as the Kiss Demon, this wrestler would join his father Jeff as a baseball coach for the Montreal Expos.
Dale Torborg?
And before he became the Kiss Demon, he was known as the MVP, the most violent player, who is Dale Torborg. We're on to the GWF for 4. Using the nickname of the Expert, this current WWE executive worked for the Global Wrestling Federation as a color commentator, manager, and ringside interviewer. And the answer here
Bruce Pritchard.
is Bruce Pritchard.
I know him.
We're on to iconic mustaches for 400. This wrestler got his name due to his resemblance to actor Tom Selleck.
It's Magnum TA. Yeah.
You know, I think I got kind of a Magnum PI vibe going right now with the tropical Hawaiian shirt. However, the correct answer here, who is Magnum TA? Which brings us to Saturday night's main event for 400. In its 20-plus year history, a WWE Singles Championship only changed hands once on Saturday night's main event when Shawn Michaels defeated this wrestler for the Intercontinental title.
Those are the British Bulldog?
And it happened in November of 1992 when HBK defeated the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. And let's finish up the 400-point round by naming the wrestler or wrestlers associated with this opening theme song sound effect.
I mean, that's Mick Foley.
Screeching Wheels could have gone either way. You could have said it was the bad guy, Razor Ramon.
You know what they say, babe.
But that wreck in there is an obvious dead giveaway. The correct answer, who is Mick Foley? All right, 10 questions down, 15 to go, plus the daily doubles floating around somewhere out there. If you're enjoying yourself, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also the ringy-dingy notification icon bell so you get notified whenever we come out with a brand new episode of Wrestling Jeopardy. And this one happens to be our 20th episode, so thank you.
Thank you!
And so let's kick off the 600-point round with Play Ball. The Major League Baseball shutdown of 1994 led to the debut of a wrestler named Abe Knuckleball Schwartz, who painted his face like a baseball and wore a jersey sporting this number.
0? I don't know.
And the correct answer, what is 00?
You know something?
Yeah, I'll give myself that.
Brings us to the Global Wrestling Federation for 6. The GWF ran weekly shows out of the Global Dome, which in its heyday was better known as this.
Global Dome. Sportatorium. I'm just spitballing there. I'm just
Now,
guessing.
the GWF was a Dallas, Texas-based promotion, so they ran their shows out of the world-famous Sportatorium. We're on to
That was a complete
iconic
guess.
mustaches for 600, fitting for his cowboy character.
Oh.
This wrestler's thick handlebar was straight out of a classic western.
Blackjack Mulligan?
And the correct answer,
Yes.
who is Blackjack Mulligan? Moving on to Saturday night's main event for 600. In 2007, this former boxing world champion appeared on Saturday night's main event to face Matt Hardy in a boxing match.
It's, oh, I can't remember.
And that would be none other than the real deal, who is Evander Holyfield. And let's finish up the 600-point round by naming the wrestler or wrestlers associated with this opening theme song sound effect.
No clue. I have no idea.
I feel bad for these guys. They've probably had about 85 theme songs since they started with the E. But the correct answer is...
Oh,
who
really?
are the Viking Raiders.
Their names
And let's kick
went
off
through
the
a
800
lot.
round with play ball. After
Went
the
through a lot of
Chicago White
names.
Sox won the World Series in 2005. Their catcher, A.J. Pierzynski, took part in this TNA pay-per-view, managing the team of Dale Torborg, Sanjay Dutt, and Chris Sabin versus the Diamonds in the Rough.
Oh, don't know a whole lot about this era, so I probably don't know.
And the correct answer here, what is Turning Point? And that brings us to the Global Wrestling Federation for 800.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, this is going to be a toughie here for you guys who aren't familiar with the GWF.
Stand by for the baddest, meanest, toughest wrestling you'll ever see.
If you have any knowledge in your brain about the Global Wrestling Federation, place your wager now.
But 500. Because I'm
All right,
probably
here is the Daily Double
don't
Clue
know
from
that- probably
the
not gonna
Global
get this
Wrestling
one.
Federation, taking orders from the mysterious boss and consisting of members Cactus Jack, Muckin Singh, Rip Rogers, and Scotty Anthony. This was the name of the first heel stable to ever exist in the GWF.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I always thought this was a cool name for a faction. The correct answer,
The Cartel.
who were the Cartel.
Uh-huh.
And we're moving on to mustaches for 8. This wrestler looked like he stepped out of a time machine from the early 1900s.
No.
Managed by Harvey Whippleman with his signature derby hat. The correct answer, who was Big Bully Busick.
I
Which brings us to
never heard of him
Saturday
before.
night's main event. Ba-ba-ba-ba-na. On the 30th edition of Saturday Night's Main Event, Hulk Hogan and Sid Justice teamed up in a match against these two wrestlers, during which Sid would turn his back and walk out on the Hulkster.
I guess the Road Warriors.
The correct answer
Ah,
were the Nature
okay.
Boy Ric Flair and The Undertaker. And let's finish up the 800-point round by naming the wrestler or wrestlers
Okay, here we go.
associated with this opening theme song sound effect.
Tommaso Ciampa, because I know he had one like
Another
that.
tricky one that could have gone either way. You could have said it was Taz, but you would have been incorrect because the correct answer, no one will survive. Who is Ciampa?
Yeah, because I knew he had
And
a
we've made it to the most
had one
difficult
of
round
those.
in wrestling, Jeopardy, the steel
Had a
cage
theme? Yeah,
begins
yeah.
to roar.
Yeah.
The ominous music begins to play.
Actually, he
5
didn't have a
seconds
theme
left.
when he
Get your
first turned
thinking
heel
caps on.
against
Let's head on over
Johnny
to Play
Gargano.
Ball for 1,000.
Just let the booze
Before
rain down. It was so cool.
famously coming to Raw in 2022, Veer Mahan won an Indian reality show competition that scored him a Major League Baseball contract with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and his story became the inspiration for this Disney movie.
I had no idea, so I don't have any idea.
Released in 2014 and starring the dynamic duo of John Hamm and Bill Paxton, the correct answer is $1 Million Arm.
Really?
Which brings us
That's
to
interesting.
the final clue from the Global Wrestling Federation. Long before Elimination Chambers and TLC matches were the norm, the bookers of the GWF tried this daring new concept for a match.
Scaffold match. I'm not.
The first
Oh.
and hopefully last bungee cord match featured Chaz Taylor versus Stephen Dane hanging 175 feet in the air, and the loser was the first person thrown out of the cage.
I fell, but I won!
Let's close out iconic mustaches for a
That was
thousand.
a
This
stupid
wrestler
concept.
created a terrifying appearance with his devilish eyebrows and
Oh.
menacing mustache.
No, it wasn't the.
Adding to his fearsome demeanor was that massive mustache, just as thick and powerful as one of the most feared heels
Ox
of all
Baker.
time. Who is Ox Baker? And we're on to Saturday night's main event for 1000. Jesse Ventura made fun of this couple on their wedding day, going so far as to say that their kiss looked like two carp going after the same piece of corn.
Is it Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth? Nah, it can't be.
Now, the body should have chosen his words more carefully because he wound up with a face full of cake at the wedding reception
Oh.
of Uncle Elmer and his blushing bride, Joyce. And let's finish up the
No, they
regular
got- no,
round
they got-
of Jeopardy
Macho Man
by
got
naming
married
the
in
wrestler
SummerSlam.
associated with this opening theme
Okay.
song sound effect.
It's the Road Warriors. No, it's not the Road Warriors. It's.
The name of this theme song is called Superhuman, which used to be the NXT theme of Baron Corbin.
Nice.
And now we're
Okay.
on to Final Jeopardy. Let's check out
Oh,
this
whiffed
episode's
that one.
clue, which is Major League Ballparks. With their atypical dimensions, Major League Ballparks may not seem like ideal venues for pro wrestling, but the sport is no stranger to the baseball diamond, having fielded multiple WrestleManias and countless other stadium events. All right, so think about how much you know about Major League Ballparks and place your wager now.
I'm just gonna bet it all. It's what I usually do.
All right, time is up. Here is the final clue. This New York City ballpark provided the backdrop to many milestone moments, including the first ever meeting between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. Good luck.
Oh. Yankee Stadium?
This New York City ballpark provided the backdrop to many milestone moments, including the first ever meeting between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. Though it ceased to be in 2009, this former home of the New York Mets' storied past as a hallowed venue for pro wrestling remains intact through 3 landmark showdowns, which took place every 4 years from 1972 to 1980. The correct answer, what was Shea Stadium?
Well, went about as usual as it usually does. But I don't mind. It's just all in good fun. Anyway, so that will do it for this edition of Wrestling Jeopardy. And we will see you next time.